and then we'll just, hit the ground running next year and try to get to the promised land, try to get to the finals. It's been forever since we've been to the finals. The last time we were in the finals was what? Against the Spurs, and that's 2 decades ago. Something has to be done. Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith here at Sports Vibes TV, and I like the fact that I have this channel. I'm able to make these videos, and then I'm able to turn around and see the media confirm what I was thinking. Now, I made a video discussing how the luxury cap could potentially benefit the Knicks, and now there's multiple reports coming out that the Knicks would be open to acquiring Gordan Hayward. And Gordan Hayward was one of the players that I was speaking about in that video, because Gordan Hayward and the Boston Celtics are in a weird relationship right now. Yes, Gordan Hayward and their coach Stevens are best bros or whatever from their time in college, but they're not really a great fit at the moment. And the Boston Celtics, the way their salary cap is set up, they need to move some players if they're going to still want to, make additions to the team. Now, the Knicks, we could be that potential trade partner. We're flush with cap space. And the Boston Celtics, they have multiple picks coming up in this draft, and they also have picks next year that we could potentially pry from them. So I think the two teams they make a pretty good match. I think Gordan Hayward is still a respectable enough player that we could still put him in, the starting lineup and still get some decent production from him. I think we would still be able to be competitive with him. We would just have to fill in the roster, around Gordan Hayward and around RJ and around Mitch. We could use that as our nice little core, at least just for this year. That's the other positive about Gordan Hayward. He's only, it's a big contract. He's owed about $34 million, but he's only owed that for this year. And this would allow us to get a player in that's a player that has won before, not necessarily championships, but he's won and, competed in the playoffs. We don't have too many players on our team right now that are, playoff tested. And in order for them to get playoff tested, we have to get in the playoffs. And the East, we should be getting into the playoffs in the East, if not regularly, at least every other year. The East is not that difficult to get in. Like some of these teams get in, or a lot of these teams get in with sub 500 records. So if we were able to bring in a Gordan Hayward and we were able to pair him with another marquee point guard, I think the Knicks could then be a competitive team moving forward. I'm not going to sit here and say we'll be a championship contender just because we brought in Gordan Hayward, but at least we'll have a player that can play under Tibbs, that can help try to build this winning culture here with the Knicks. And then we'll, let him do what he has to do next offseason, and we'll bring in somebody else to replace him. And hopefully, within that year, we'll have a nice culture created within the organization. And then we'll just, hit the ground running next year and try to get to the promised land, try to get to the finals. It's been forever since we've been to the finals. The last time we were in the finals was what? Against the Spurs. And that's 2 decades ago. Something has to be done. All right. So let me know what you guys think about a potential Gordan Hayward trade. I'd be open to it. I know some fans wouldn't, because it might be a signal that you're kind of waving the right flag on this season. But I still think that there's some positives that can be taken if we do make this trade, as well as acquiring more picks that we could then potentially flip into another player or use to draft somebody in either this class or next class. So once again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Leave them down below. I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.